Hello, Cancer. Welcome to your May connection session. I'm Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend and whatnot or whatever. So we're going to be looking at you as well as a person of interest in the energy between the two of you and whatnot. And then we're going to be getting into a second spread where we're going to be looking at how your person of interest thinks as well and feels about you and whatnot or whatever. So anywho, let's go ahead and hop in. So first card's representing you guys. Let me cover up her butt. We have the Six of Wands representing Cancer. I mean, that's a gone thing. So here is the thing, Cancer. So you guys, you're in a good place in reference to this person. You're feeling like a W, feeling like a win, to where you're feeling in reference to this person that this is someone that you can be vulnerable with, someone that you could have success with, someone that you feel you can be yourself with, someone that you can open up to, and all of the good things. So that's definitely positive. Now, looking at your person of interest, interesting, cover up all these naked bodies. We have the Eight of Swords in the reverse. So I would say with your person of interest in reference to you, there was a little bit of reluctance that they had in reference to you. Now, this could be reluctance in the sense that there was a fear of commitment. There was a fear of, if things would work out between the two of you, if you, were what it is that you were saying you are, or if you were what it is that you were projecting yourself to be. So I would say leading up into this present time that we're in, there was a tad bit of, reluctance about you, like just not being sure. But I feel like they're coming out of that now. So whatever guards or defenses they had up, because that's kind of, I think, the best way that I could say it. Oh my gosh, my leg is going numb. Okay, I'm trying not to show y'all my leg. Hold on. Okay. I don't know why I always sit Indian style, like I'm not old as cheese. My body doesn't start locking up. Okay, anyway. But I feel with this person, kind of leading up into this time, it's just not being sure about you. And it kind of feels to me, not saying that you were doing this intentionally or anything, but it's kind of like mixed messages. I mean, Cancers, y'all are interesting humans, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, it's like what I'm picking up energetically is almost like two different messages that were being sent. And what's rolling through my mind is like every Cancer I know right now. And I can understand that, because I feel like if you never dated a Cancer or never had friends that were Cancers, you wouldn't understand. But it's kind of like Cancers fire at like all cylinders, if I could say it that way. And it's at least how I read Cancerian energy. It's kind of like 4, 5 different like energy signatures that are being shot at you at one time, but it's like they're all the same like frequency of strength, right? So you have like the hypothetically like rebel energy that's coming from a Cancer, like creative genius. Then you have like super dope parent. You know what I'm saying? And it's like all of those things at once. It's like, how could a person be a creative genius, a super dope parent, and a rebel all at one time, right? Because those are like archetypes that usually operate independent, like 3 different people. You know what I'm saying? But like Cancers have the ability to like be all of those things, and not just like a little creative genius, like I mean like 100 all at once. And I think if you don't understand how Cancer people vibe, that would be confusing. You know what I'm saying? To where, especially if this is a person that has like kind of trust issues, it's like not knowing how to take that. So being like kind of suspicious in a sense, like, who are they really? You know what I mean? But I feel at this point, they've kind of come to the sense of like, oh, they're just like this. You know what I mean? Now, the energy between the two of you, okay, I ain't mad at that. So the energy between the two of you is the three of cuppies. So, it's love, love, love all the time, connection, joy, celebration, all the things. So I would say you guys have kind of turned a corner. So, I mean, this could go two ways. This could either be Cancer, somebody you guys just started dating. This could also be someone that you've been dating for some time, but you've kind of gotten past that representative phase. You know what I mean? To where you're starting. And let me say this. I can't see this happening for Cancer, but I'm just going to throw this disclaimer out there. If this is someone new, watch that, Cancer, because I don't want you being all, open and vulnerable, showing all your crab meats and things. You know what I'm saying? Taking the shell off and whatnot if you just met this person, okay? Because if they want to be reluctant about you, I feel like you need to do your due diligence and be a little reluctant about them so you know who you're dealing with. Just throwing that out there. But I think the best scenario for what it is that I'm seeing so far would be if this is someone that you guys have been dating for some time, and I don't mean like a year or something. Like, this could literally be someone you've been dating for like 3 months. You know what I mean? Like, y'all kind of turned that corner to where you're kind of used to each other, to where Cancer is starting to open up and this person is starting to open up. So I would say both of you are in, a pretty good place. Now, when we get into how your person of interest is thinking as well as feeling about you, the first card out we have, interesting, we have the 10 of Swords in the reverse. Then we have, interesting, I'm making sure there's no nakedness, we have the 9 of Cuppies. And then we have, cover up that boob, we have the 5 of Cuppies in the reverse. This is interesting. Okay. And then in their conscious thoughts, because those 3 cards are their fleeting thoughts. Oh, okay. That just showed up for, who did I do before y'all? Damn, did I forget that fast? Oh, Sagittarius. That was in the feeling space for them. We have the King of Swords in their conscious thoughts. So here's the thing. So with your person of interest, in a sense, they kind of all over the place a little bit. There is a little bit of concern with them for an ex. I will just say that out the gate. So Cancer, whoever it is that you dated or were married to, because we grown folks around here. So whoever it is that you dated or who you were married to prior to this person, they do feel that you're over it. However, they are, and I don't know why I feel like I need to say, I always say, I don't know why, but I know why, but I'm just going to say it. The last person that you were with, it didn't really end good, or they were just really not a good person. And your person knows that, you know what I'm saying? So kind of the headspace that they're in with this is like them. It's almost, I'm gonna be real, it's almost like them convincing themselves of this, because let's say hypothetically, like your ex like cheated on you or something, like you came home and found them in bed with someone else, right? So with your person of interest, there is a little insecurity with them, and so they're worried that you might still be interested in their ex, and they would be telling themselves like, but they came home and caught them in bed with someone else. So like they totally would never go back to them. Like they would never go back to them because they caught them in bed with someone else, right? So that's kind of like what they're telling themselves to sleep at night. But I can say that energy is very much there, with them being concerned about that. Now, what I can already tell you before I even go any further, that's already saying that with this person, there's insecurity, which makes me look at this 8 of Swords and the reverse slightly different, because that's saying for me that their reluctance towards you and like that fear or distrust that they had towards you, this was more really like a them thing, to where they don't really trust themselves, right? So that would say to me that they probably been through some things, you know what I'm saying? But they don't necessarily really trust themselves per se. So it's like, because they don't trust themselves, then automatically you're not going to trust other people, because if I don't trust my decision making, right, then if I make the wrong decision, then I can end up with, a shit human. You know what I mean? So that's where that ambivalence would kind of come from. But I say with this person, they're hella insecure, right? So even though they know, and not saying that all of you guys, caught your ex in bed with someone, but it's just the fact of, even with them knowing like this is a deal breaker type of thing that kept Cancer away to where they would never speak to them again, but it's still like, them needing to tell themselves that to make themselves feel better type of deal. But the good thing with this Nine of Cups, they do believe that my guys are telling me something else. This is wonderful. They do believe that you really like them. However, again, here comes the insecurity because of the fact that we have the Nine of Cups and not the 10, right? So it's the thought of how they would be perceiving you. It's like, yeah, you're happy with me, but it's like, I'm lacking something. I'm missing something. That's all in their own heads. Now, the thing that they perceive themselves to be missing, that's an internal thing. So whatever it is that, however it is that they see themselves, like whatever they feel their personal deficit is, that's the thing that they feel is taking that cup away from this proverbial 10 of Cups, if you will. And then again, like I was saying with this 10 of Swords in the reverse, that's where this 5 of Cups in the reverse comes from. Like that's very much the energy that's influencing all of this is them. And I said this with another sign. I can't remember who it was, but it was very similar to this, to where it's like this person was, I mean, Cancer, your person ain't as bad as that sign. I can't remember what sign it was. But because in that sign, the person was like literally like stalking exes and like comparing themselves to exes and stuff. I don't necessarily feel your person is on that level. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you guys for that. But I feel it's their insecurity that's really motivating this, because it's some fixation that they have with your past. And like I said, I don't know how much, like, I mean, if they know all of this about your past person, I would assume, that they know what the person like looks like and stuff. So I don't know if it's like what they do for a living or what they look like, and they're kind of weighing themselves up in comparison to that. Or like another way that a lot of times this energy will show up is, and I said that with the other sign too, that like if you were married to the person, like if you were married to that person and you guys got divorced, or if you have kids with that person too, it's like, and I noticed that as a therapist too, a lot of times people feel intimidated by that for some reason, because it's the thought of like, you love this person enough to marry them, or you love this person enough to like procreate with them. So like this person has to be like super special. If out of all of the humans on planet Earth you could have married or you could have procreated with, you chose that person. You know what I mean? So I hear that a lot of times when a new person comes in, and this is another weird thing I just heard, that's what is happening, Cancer. Like, and this is, if you resonate with what I'm about to say, this would probably be like 1%. But because I've literally heard this before. Sometimes when a person has a spouse who died, that the new person who comes in feels like they pale in comparison to, the spouse that passed away. You know what I'm saying? Like they could never live up to this person. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, guys. Wait, my kid's about to walk in here. Hold on. Wait. He always not has shirts on. Hold on. Sorry about that. I can't say. I was like, I'm not getting YouTube flagged for that. But the proud mom moment. My kid literally came home and I'm like, so what's going on? What are you doing? And he was like, coming home to clean my room. And I was like, oh, okay, we're here for that. Okay, anyway. But yeah, man, but I've heard that before where, literally with a spouse that's transitioned, a person like feeling like they can't necessarily live up to that. But I say all of this is in this person's fleeting thoughts. So this isn't stuff that they're necessarily sharing with you. It's like, this is, information they're weighing. But the big contrast is really, they do have some sort of fixation with your past. You know what I'm saying? And them in comparison to that. But at the same time, they do feel like you care about them. You like them, you love them, if y'all are on that type of level. They do feel that. But the thing that kind of, like I was saying, that kind of takes that one cup away from your proverbial 10 of Cups is this worry that they have in reference to whatever was going on with you prior to them being in your life, right? Now, in their conscious thoughts, we have the King of Swords. And what I can say with this, so this is what they're aware of that they're thinking. I do feel like your person, like, let me just say it, your person's insecure. Let me just say that, right? Your person, and that's why I can't wait to get to their subconscious impression. It's like they're insecure because I'm getting this vibe of like how they see you, Cancer. And this is ironic because I said this with Sag a little bit, but it was just very dark with their person. But it's like them putting you up on a pedestal in a sense. So it's something about you, whether it's what you look like, what you do for them, whatever the case. It's something about you that they're kind of putting you up here and they're putting themselves down here in reference to you. So it's kind of the thought of, how does someone like this like me, is kind of the vibe. You know what I mean? Because they're seeing you as someone who, has it all together. Like you got like adulting on lock. You know what I'm saying? You're a very intelligent person. It's like you work hard, you play hard, you have your shit in order. But them seeing themselves in contrast to you, they don't see themselves on the same level as you. And that's whether that's like, an external world things, maturity, intelligence, it could be a myriad of different things, but they don't necessarily see themselves on the same level as you. But here's another catch, right? With whoever your ex is, they see this person as on the same level as you, which is interesting. So it's like, so if that's your ex-husband, ex-wife, or, baby mama, baby daddy, whatever the case, it's like that past person, they feel like this person was an ideal match for you. Them in comparison to you, them in comparison to your past person, they don't necessarily feel like they match up. So now it becomes the question of like, why are they interested in me? You know what I mean? Like, how could they be interested in someone like me? Because I'm not on their level, I'm not on the ex's level. And I feel like that's what really provokes their insecurity in a sense, right? Now, their subconscious impression, we have the Three of Wands. Thank you for the clothing. We have the Three of Wands. Now, here's the thing. I kind of feel for this person. I feel for them because where their insecurity is coming from, it's not coming from like a dank, dark place. Okay. Because with this Three of Wands, this is a person who, I don't want to say that. I was about to say healthy self-doubt, but that would be wrong. Because like healthy self-doubt is like, I'm super duper confident, but right before I do this keynote, I'm like super nervous and hope I don't screw up. That's like healthy self-doubt, right? I don't necessarily feel your person is there, but then I don't feel like they're in self-doubt or insecurity to where it's like narcissism. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're kind of, in between the two extremes in a sense. So for them, this is more, okay, that would be a perfect way to put it. This is more self-concept, right? So this isn't like a person who has horribly low self-esteem. It's kind of like somebody where if someone were to call them pretty or something, it's like, or like, oh my gosh, you're gorgeous. Like they would be more like, and they may not say that like to you, but like maybe it's like a friend or something. Like it's like, yeah, like people are saying I'm gorgeous. And it's like, I don't believe all that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm all right. Like I'm not the prettiest person in the world, but like I'm all right. I'm not ugly. I'm all right. You know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of the vibe I get from this person. You know what I'm saying? But their perception of Cancer is more or less like the world is your oyster. Like whatever it is that Cancer wants, Cancer could get. Whatever Cancer set their mind to, they could achieve. Cancer is so talented. Cancer is so intelligent. Cancer has all of these great ideas, right? And they believe whatever it is that you would want to do, you could do it, right? They don't see themselves that way, though. It's like they almost see themselves, how can I say it? I can't think of a good word for this. So I'll just like give a narrative. It's like this person, like, what'd you call like a bench warmer? That would probably be the word. It's like you kind of sit on the sidelines and you watch stuff happen type of thing. Or you live vicariously through people. Like what people do with celebrities, or influencers even, it's like, you're never gonna see, and this is sucky to say that about yourself, but it's like, you're never gonna see the Maldives, right? Like, there's no way you're never gonna make enough money to ever see the Maldives. So there's this particular influencer that and once a year they go to the Maldives, and like, you just, salivate over their content every time they go to the Maldives, so you can live vicariously through them, because you've already made that decision in your mind. And not you, Cancer, talking about your person of interest. Like, you've already made that decision in your mind that that's never going to be an option for you. It's like your best years are behind you. You've done all that you can do. You've hit, a brick wall in life, and this is as good as it gets. Like, that's this person's perception of themselves. You know what I'm saying? Now, what I would say, to be kind of cautious about that, I'm not seeing anything with this person as of yet to where this is red flag city, right? It's just, this is something you kind of want to be aware of, because depending on the person and how you get to know them and how things kind of play out, this could turn into something that would be a bit concerning, because this would be prime pickings to kind of create like jealousy in a sense. Because this person has self-limiting beliefs. It's like, with this person, everything that they see that's possible for Cancer, it's just as much possible for them. The thing is, they just don't believe it, right? And I feel a lot of what draws them to Cancer is they see a lot of themselves in you. They just don't know that, because mind you, this is in their subconscious. So they see like a lot of the potential that in personality traits and stuff like that, that Cancer possesses. This person is very much in possession of them. They're just not aware of it. You know what I'm saying? So they have a tendency to play second fiddle and, like I said, live vicariously through people, as opposed to doing it themselves, because they've already made it up in their mind that that's not a possibility for them. Like, this just can't happen for me. You know what I'm saying? My ship has sailed, right? The time is over for me. I can't go back to college. Like, I'm too old for that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I would say just kind of keep an eye out for that. But again, like I was saying, with this being the Three of Wands in their subconscious, I'm not really concerned about that, because it's a lot of other cards that could come up in this position that would give me that same kind of narrative, but it would be dark. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing with that too is, I always say, like, when a club, was I about to say a club? Freudian slip? I don't know. Anyway, whenever a card is upright in this position, I always say that's a good sign, because that means that this is something that has the ability to come into this person's conscious mind. You know what I'm saying? And it's not saying that you need to be like super save-a-ho or anything, Cancer. But with them seeing you as the King of Wands, it's like, not saying you need to bite on this, but it's almost like Cancer is in a position to where you could speak life into this person, like not save them from themselves, but literally just living by example. Like, literally, that's it. You wouldn't have to tell them anything. It's like you just being who you are, and, just encouraging them, where if they're just like, I wish I could go back to college. It's like, you could totally go back to college. I went back to college as an adult. You know what I'm saying? Like, telling them stuff like that, that's, motivational and encouraging. I could see how this person could start to kind of shift their perspectives. But of course, I always say, don't ever try to be nobody's therapist. Send them to a friendly local neighborhood therapist, but don't tell them that. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be mean. Don't tell people to go to therapy. Like, bitch, you need to go to therapy. Don't do that, right? Not saying that you would, but just throwing that out there. But I do feel like these are things that this person needs to work through. But I mean, 12 sessions of CBT and they'd be fine. You know what I'm saying? But whatever the case, they're not red flag city, but I would still say, just kind of be cautious and keep an eye out for that, and make sure that you don't see, any suspicious red flaggy kind of behaviors. Now, their feelings towards you, I like this. We have the King of the Cuppies. So legit, they have strong feelings for you, Cancer. And they feel that you have strong feelings for them as well. So, I mean, I like this. They feel that you're very nurturing, you're very caring. And like I said, this goes back to the Six of Wands here, like how I was saying with you guys opening up and being vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? You took the little shell off and stuff. You got your meat hanging out everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So I feel that you guys are showing them, like, that sweet, kind, gentle part of yourself, and they're digging it. So they feel very emotionally nurtured. Now, the thing that I like with this, but again, I'm just going to throw this out there so you're aware. Looking at this King of Cups and looking at this King of Swords and their conscious thoughts and in their feelings, notice there's a differentiation here, right? It's like them seeing you in this power dynamic. It's like, you're the lover and the nurturer. You're the protector of them. You know what I'm saying? And so the same in this mental space. Now that is a good thing, right? And this is going to sound hella sexist when I say this, so forgive me, don't cancel me. But just to use this as kind of like an example, it's like if this is like a feminine person, right? And Cancer is a masculine person, then that's, a good differentiation. You know what I mean? Because it's like you feel nurtured and loved and protected by, the big, strong, masculine person. You know what I'm saying? And then so the same, like in the intellectual sense, like, oh my gosh, he's so smart, right? Like he just knows all the things. Like my car was like making this clunky noise and he totally fixed it, right? So that's a good thing. But on the reverse side, if Cancer is the feminine and your person of interest is the masculine, that's still something I would say, to watch for. And the only reason why I say that is like, that's why I said it sounds sexist, but that's not my intention. I say that to watch for that because that sometimes can be like an ick for feminine people, is when you have a masculine figure who's looking at you as like, oh my gosh, they're so smart. You know what I mean? It's like, they just like fix all the things. And I feel so nurtured by her. You know what I mean? So just kind of watch for that, because I say on both sides, like whether it's masculine or feminine, that can become an issue. And I talked about that with another sign. I don't know why I'm not remembering what the signs are, but I talked about that with another sign. Was it Aquarius? It might have been. But where the person, I think it was Aquarius, where the person wanted someone who was an equal, and like the person was coming to them and behaving in the relationship is very like subservient. And they were, like whatever we were talking about specifically, whether it was like spiritually, because I think that's the example I used. I used the example like if they were, like a spiritual person and they've been practicing spirituality for like 10 something years, and this person just got woke yesterday, you know what I'm saying? But their desire in a partnership was someone who has been practicing spirituality for as long as they have, because they weren't necessarily looking for someone where you had to teach them things. It's like they wanted them to already be there. So the only heads up that I would put in reference to this is I do see like a power differential here. And depending on what side of that you are, Cancer, that's just something you'd have to be aware of if that's not something that you would be looking for in your partnership. If you don't care one way or the other, then don't listen to me, But if that's something like a role you wouldn't want to play, like you wouldn't want to be like the one with all the answers, the protector, the provider, the fixer, you know what I'm saying? Like the one who has all the answers, like, oh my gosh, I'm scared. What should we do? You know what I mean? If you don't want to be in that role in a partnership, just be kind of aware of this, because that's very much the dynamics in which your person is seeing you. They're seeing you as, more loving, more emotionally mature, more intelligent, more grounded, more successful than they are. You know what I'm saying? And, just be aware if you're okay with being in that role in a connection. If you are, then you're totally fine. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I would say overall, it's good for me. There's not anything, like I said, there's little things to kind of be conscious of, but there's not anything for me where I'm just like, run, You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Cancer, that has been your connection session for the month of May. Most certainly let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys